Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fun Fresh Fridays. We are actually having technical difficulties, so I'm trying to get to have my co host come on, and we hope that she's able to come on. Stefania, I hope you're able to come on. So, as you can see, I am here live. Yay! Last week, I want to thank my co-host, who was a wonderful host on last week. She did very, very wonderful. Well, I am going to talk to her. Yes! Hi, Stefania!
Made it. I made it. I don't
Yes,
know what happened. It's blocked.
yeah, it seems like I don't know what's going on. Oh, you're frozen.
Am I frozen?
No, you're good now. You're good now.
Good.
So I was saying that you held the fort on last week, and I was just so proud of you. I was a proud mom. I was
Thank
like, yay!
you. Thank you. Thank you. It was fun.
Yes, and guess what? You're gonna have a lot more fun today.
I am? No. No, 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 no. You're back. You're back.
Well, so before I go into that, what I wanted to do is I want to do a shout outs. We like to do shout outs on Fridays. So one of them was you. Thank you so much. And for those that had joined in, like Enolia, thank you, Enolia, for
Yes. Thank you.
making it a great show. And for those that chimed in, even though there was a little bit of technical difficulties, but it was a great show. It was a great show. I really enjoyed it. My other shout out is that, as you can see,
Nails done. Ooh, a French manicure. That
ooh,
looks Frenchy to me.
that looks
Is that a
what? Yes, it
French
is.
manicure?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Lovely.
I love.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give a shout out to my daughter Julia, who did it for me.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it
She's
beautiful?
she's a nail technician.
No.
She's
Well,
talented.
well, she used these.
Okay.
It's
What are they?
called it's called Color Street.
Mhm.
So what it is, it's actual nail polish, but it's a sticker.
Oh, okay. I've seen those. My girlfriend wears those. Yeah.
Isn't
You
that
kind of like
cool?
put them on and peel them off, right?
You don't peel them off because you have to use. You actually have to use nail polish remover. Well, you can pick it like regular nail
Okay.
polish,
Yeah.
but it'll damage your nails. But you
Sure.
can use the fingernail polish remover.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
she has a Facebook. For those of you that want to go to her Facebook, she is Julia Thomas, and she has some great stuff. I'm loving it. This is my first time ever doing it. Look at this one, Stefania.
Oh, wow. They're all different like shades and designs.
Yes, yes.
Oh, they
And
come in they
then
come
they
in
have
little envelopes like that. That's interesting.
pedicure.
Oh la la. Yeah,
Yes.
ready for
So
fun.
these are a full kit. Everything that you need is in here. Then they have the overlays.
We got Patricia in the house. Happy
Oh,
Friday. Happy Friday, Patricia. How are you? How many did you purchase? She says. How many?
yes. How many? Um,
A lot. A year's supply, Patricia. She's going to have different colors, different designs every week. I
so
can.
there's these overlays that you can put on your regular color, and you put it on top, and it becomes a design. Isn't that
That's
cool?
cool. Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Then they have like this one is I believe that this one is for health, mental health.
Because it's green.
No, it's they have like different causes. So some of the proceeds, if it's a cause that you buy, some of the
Mhm.
proceeds goes to the actual cause. So
Wow.
yeah. So oh, and then this one, I thought it was going to be fun for Thanksgiving for the fall. It has turkeys and pumpkins.
Oh, how cute.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Julia, for doing my nails. And for those of you that would want to know more and how to get it, um, inbox me, chat, put it on chat. I'll set it on there and we will take you to her website. And it's very affordable. It's $11.
Is that it?
That's it. And it can
Wow.
be shipped directly to you. so, so, Stefania.
Yes.
So, our topic today is jealousy.
Hmm.
What is jealousy? Why do we get jealous? So, since
Yes, jealousy in all areas of life, right? In relationships, all different areas of relationships. We're not just talking intimate relationships, are we,
right, right,
Zanetta? We're
right,
talking
and
everywhere.
because you thought about the topic,
I did.
yes, you did. You are going to be the main host.
No,
Yes, Stefania. Yes, I'll be your co-host.
no, that's unfair.
How?
I just came up with the topic, but that's okay.
Yes. Well,
That's
it's
okay.
because
We'll all host
I
together.
think it's because there's a lot of uh, knowledge that you have gained just by talking to your clients, to the men,
Mm.
in your circle, and just even your experiences. So I'm pretty sure that there's something in there in you that is just wanting to come out, and I'll be here to be your midwife to push that whatever is out.
You're funny.
And let's talk about so
Jealousy.
so let me start. What made you think about this topic?
Okay, well, yeah, you are right about my clients, and a lot of this often comes up. This topic is a topic which not only men, encounter, women do too, and we encounter it as a whole, as a collective, in different areas of our life.
Mhm.
And I I felt that it would be a great topic to talk about because we experience it, often, and we either are on the receiving end of someone who may be jealous, or sometimes we may be a little bit jealous, okay, without even knowing it, because we are ultimately feeling there is a lack. So, first of all, what is jealousy?
Mm. What
What
is
is
it? Do
jealousy?
tell. Do tell.
Okay, so um, I believe that sometimes we can be jealous without even really knowing that it's that kind of, um, I guess, emotion that we're feeling.
Hmm.
And it's usually because we feel we are comparing. Usually, jealousy comes about is when we feel we lack something, and
Hmm.
when we are comparing to someone else.
Hmm.
And often you've heard, jealousy, well, that person's just insecure, or we may be insecure because we feel less than, we don't feel good enough, we don't feel, we're comparing ourselves. That's what we're ultimately doing all the time. Every time we're stepping into jealousy or we're seeing jealousy, it's because there's this comparison going on. And I think if we can be very mindful that that is what jealousy really is, and how do we uh, deal with it? How do we deal with someone that we possibly dearly love?
Mm.
Because we can be in relationships where we love someone, however there's this jealousy, there's this comparison, there's this possession, there's this control,
Yeah.
because you may be um, better than, or
Hmm.
maybe that person, yeah, well, sorry, going back a bit, that person may feel like they're moving up the scale. So you feel inferior and you're jealous that that person may take off and fly and flourish. But really,
Oh,
really interesting comment there. I'm not sure if you saw by Patricia. She's popping those messages
yes,
up. Thank you.
yes.
Jealous, ego, jealousy instead of admiration. Exactly, Patricia. Exactly. And if we can, once we feel those feelings, okay, it's okay to feel them. I'm not judging them, okay, because that means we really need to look within ourselves and see what areas of our lives need healing.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning jealousy. It's actually somewhat good, believe it or not, because it surfaces, it
Yeah.
gives us the opportunity to look within and do some healing work. But what Patricia said there, admiration, admiring, and because when you are admiring, and which is a great point, Patricia, when you are admiring, you are elevating your conscious state.
Mm-hmm.
When you're elevating your conscious state, you're on a high vibration, whereas jealousy is a low vibration and it doesn't really get you anywhere. If anything, it keeps you stuck and may help you spiral down a little bit further down the vibrational levels that we can experience. So yeah, that's what I think jealousy is. Zanetta, what are your thoughts on that? I'd like to know, and then we can go on to experiences and
Oh,
and how to deal with it as well. I think this is really
yeah.
important that we talk about that
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah. So, jealousy is allegiance to stagnation, not a good look. It isn't. Oh, but wait. There's always a different side. There's always a different perspective, and that's the reason why I love the new rebranding of me, to redefine. So the the normal, the expected definition of jealousy is all of that: ego, um, uh, envy. Um, it can be a, a negative emotion to bring you to spiral down. However, if we really pay attention, like what you said, you're getting to the elevation part of it, right? So when you're getting to the elevation of the awareness of your consciousness, when you're in that state, it's now telling you that little bit of jealousy. It's telling you something, because each of our emotions tell us something about us.
Mm.
Oh, before I start my little spiel, I'm gonna have Miss Rhonda.
Hello, Rhonda.
Before Miss Rhonda. My uh-oh, turn off one of your devices.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but
Hi.
turn off your other device. Uh-oh, you have two devices.
Oh, hold on.
Yes. Turn off your other device.
No, many windows.
I'm gonna mute you really quick. You're good? Can you hear me? Okay, you're good now?
So,
You're good now? Okay. So,
how was that?
yes, perfect.
Now I can't hear you.
You can't? You can't hear me? I can hear you.
The host has muted your mic.
No, you're unmuted now. I can hear you. Can you hear Stefania? Stefania, can you talk?
Yes, can you hear me?
Mm,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can Rhonda hear
You
me?
have me muted.
No, I don't.
No.
Maybe yourself. No, she wouldn't be muted. Is she
No.
connected to her?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to bring you down and then I'll bring you back up. I kicked you out because I can do that. Can you hear me?
How about now? No.
Yeah, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
No? How about you log off and then log back in? She can't hear us at all. Okay, so here this is what we're going to do. We are going to chat.
She needs to go to her settings. She needs to go to her settings, I think. And
Oh no, she already left. Okay, that's good. All right. So let me go ahead and continue dowsing then. That's cheating. She's gonna hear what I'm gonna say. That's unfair. So there's always a different perspective, and each of our emotions, some of the negative, as we call it, the negative emotions. If you take a different look at it, it's actually something there for us. It always tells you, or it tells us something. It tells us something about us. Hopefully, yes. Let's go. Can you hear us? Yes? No? Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God. There is such
I'm
a
still
huge delay.
muted.
No, you're not muted. We can hear you.
We can hear you. We can.
Yes.
You can?
Yeah.
I can't. Oh,
Yes.
I might tell her to go to her settings.
Yeah.
Her settings, and make sure that her microphone is in alignment. May want to talk. Continue talking, Zanetta.
Okay. So here's how I view jealousy. Um, it is viewed as a bad emotion. It is viewed as a negative emotion. But if you use that and turn it around, because what is jealousy? Jealousy is telling something about you that you said it earlier. It's lack, right? So when you look at like me, I look at a Tesla because I love Teslas, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could have that. Oh, that's a bit of jealousy. But that lets me know that I'm getting inspired because of what I desire that I don't have yet. But if I can turn that jealousy or that envy around and say, you know what? It's telling me that I really want that. So what am I going to do about it? That is how you turn things around. When you lack, like a relationship, you see two couples, oh, get a room. You see them holding hands. Oh, they need to stop all this PDA, public display of affection. That's jealousy talking. Why? Because you lack that and you desire that, but you're turning it into a negative instead of a positive. So when you see that, you have to think, you have to really think about what it is. So jealousy is a good thing if you make it a good thing. Jealousy can you hear us? No? She over there.
She can't hear us?
No. So I'm going to bring her down just a minute. And okay. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. However, Zanetta,
Oh, go ahead.
can I just say,
Yes.
I think it depends where you're on the level of self-development. Let's be honest, because someone who is on a lower, level, when I say lower, that hasn't evolved or hasn't looked at things or doesn't even care to look at things from a different perspective like you are, because they're just stuck. And like Patricia said, it's stagnation. They're refusing to move. They're in resistance. They're refusing to look at it from what you're saying, because every emotion, whether we call it negative or positive, it has both sides to it. It's how we choose to work through it. And yeah, that's the part that maybe, we can say today, particularly, that jealousy. And if you do have that feeling of jealousy, and if you have that, what are the characteristics? Let's have a look at the characteristics of being jealous.
Okay.
Because you just mentioned something which I wouldn't even call jealous. You want to get a Lexus, or is that the car you like? The
Tesla.
A Tesla. A Tesla. But anyway, it sounds really good. But that's something. It may be because someone else has got it, but you're going into the fact that I want one. But jealousy too can be where you want what they have.
Mm-hmm.
You want what they have. You want, and if we're going into relationships, you want that woman's man. You want to have a relationship like that. You want to have, what's that?
I want your husband.
I want your husband, yeah, or I want your wife, because I want to have a relationship like you have that, that jealousy coming through. And what are the characteristics? Well, the characteristics are things like criticizing. How do you know when someone is jealous of you? How do you know someone's jealous of you?
Ooh. Let's explore that. Let's explore that. How do you know when somebody's jealous? How do you know, Stefania, when somebody's jealous of you?
Well, some characteristics that I have experienced, okay? I'll speak about myself, and maybe a lot of the audience out there have experienced as well. A form of criticizing is one. When you have, someone close to you, a loved one, and you always feel and find yourself being criticized. You think you're doing really well, or you're moving on and getting a promotion at work, or, getting a pay rise, anything of that sort. And rather than having someone dear to you, supposedly, or, a loved one, cheer you on and be your greatest supporter and encourage you, they can often criticize. And it may be like little snippets, like, well, there'll be more responsibility with that pay rise, It's like, well, there's a dampener, there's a negative thrown onto that. So that's a form of criticism. Sometimes it's sheep in wolves' clothes.
Be mindful. Be conscious. Be conscious. Be aware.
Be aware. Exactly. And
that's right.
something a very dear friend, and she's here, Patricia, who often, we have conversations. I wish she'd come on, Patricia, but I know you're hanging out there in the back, and we're grateful that you're there joining in with the chat. But my dear Patricia brought to light to me a couple of weeks ago is be mindful of what is not being said also in a conversation. Often we hear what's being said, but often be mindful of what's not being said. And jealousy also can also be felt through words that are unspoken words.
Right. And those are the ones that speak the loudest, is the unspoken words, because they think that you're not hearing what's not being said, so that they can continue to deceive. Oh, yeah, that's another topic.
That's another.
That's another topic. That's another topic. Jealousy could mean the other person wants or demands more attention from the partner or other people, not wanting to share. That's just plain outright greed. I'm sorry. That's selfish. So Rhonda, is it everything working now? Everything good? Oh gosh, we can't hear you now. No, we can't hear you. I can read lips. Yes, I can see that you can hear us now, but you can't hear. We can't hear you now.
Does she have a microphone maybe that she's got an external microphone? Because it's something to do with your microphone that's not connected with whatever device you're using, whether it's because I had the same problem weeks ago. It's if you're using your laptop, then check on the little red button, not red button, the little kind of star circly on
Cog.
the right there,
The
cog,
cog.
yeah, to settings, and it'll tell you your microphone settings.
Right.
So you've got your speaker and you've got your output and your default input.
Look at you, Stefania, becoming a. Look at you. Okay, so we're going to bring you back down and continue to work on it, Rhonda.
We'll have her on. Don't worry, we'll have her on. So yeah, that's one of the characters. Please share what another characteristic, Zanetta.
So this is my sister. Not wanting to share. That's my sister. I love you, sis. Jealousy blinds judgment. Huh. Wow. Okay. And this is my daughter, by the way, who did my nails. She said, I tell Zanetta and her husband to get a room all the time, but I'm certainly don't want her husband. He's my dad. But their relationship is that of a fairy tale, and we should all be so lucky to have what they have. Oh, I love you. I love you. So yeah, she does. She does tell us to get a room. I just say she's jealous. I just say she's jealous. So wow. Jealousy blinds judgment. I'm gonna have to marinate on that. I really am. I'm gonna have to marinate on that because I can see where it is. It can blind judgment if you are on the lower register, right, Stefania?
Yes.
You're on the low vibration, and you don't you're not in the understanding what really jealousy is, or
maybe Patricia needs to explain a little bit more what she means by that.
Yeah. Give us a little bit more clarity on that. Jealousy blinds judgment. I mean, I can see where you're jealous of another person or a thing or whatever it is, or a situation or a promotion or a job or whatever the item or the person is that you're jealous of, that you want that so bad that it blinds your judgment, that you don't see it's not for you. I can see it that way. So yeah. Explain a little bit more, Patricia. Better word perspective. Okay. Better word perspective. Okay. So I think jealousy in a way tells the individual where they're at. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a form of threat. When people are jealous, they're also feeling threatened. It's simple. They feel that something's also being taken away from them. And it may not be that. It just may be that the light is going to be shining that way, on whoever it is you're jealous from, rather than yourself. So that can be the threat. It can be a threat, can't it? Can be a form of threat.
So what are the other characteristics of jealousy?
I think another one is fault finding, where we find fault in everything. You're coming up with some great ideas and sharing with that special someone, and then that jealous person that's feeling these emotions, rather than maybe exploring, curious, they shut it down with, a fault. Well, if you do that, this is what's going to happen. Or, "Hey, did you think about doing this? And did you think about the consequences?" Which, it depends how it's delivered too, isn't it?
Right.
You can enlighten someone, but if you're shutting that down with an immediate negative, a fault finding, wouldn't you say that's a characteristic of showing jealousy?
I think you're onto something. I think, yeah, I think that would be a character. Um, because I'm looking at, with me when I used to say some stuff. I will always tell on me. Um, like, look at her. Who does she think she is? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And like doing that to her hair when my hair is like right here.
And you're trying to flick something.
and I want to flick my hair, you know. Yeah, I think fault finding is a form of jealousy, because instead of trying to look for something that, the other stuff, the other elements or the other things that are of worthy of praise, you're looking at something that you want to say negative about. Sometimes it's a lack of self-care, so it's easy to let your mind run rampant with the perspective that someone else has it better, when in truth, you're not taking care of we're not taking care of ourselves or doing the work. Hmm. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that. So if we take the focus off them and, you know, inject more self-love in ourselves, we
Right.
feel good, and therefore we're not falling back into that feeling threatened, comparing, and also, out to serve. I think when we kind of like also feel that, we can transition and say, well, how can I serve people better? Whatever it is
Mhm.
you're doing, how can I do it better, to better someone else's life? Because usually whatever we do is helping someone else,
Yeah.
whatever work we're doing.
Yeah.
But I like what Julia, is it your daughter
Yeah.
Julia? Yes. As queens, we should be uplifting each other, not tearing each other down. Absolutely, because we're all queens. We're all, um, queens encouraging, lifting, and supporting each other as women, um, as people, as humanitarians. So I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So another one, I just want to run through just a few more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Another one is when we blame. We're very quick to blaming others, and acting obsessive, which can often happen in relationships,
Yes.
intimate relationships. And I don't know about you, Zanetta, but I've had my fair of jealous men,
Oh.
jealous partners, and uh, it's really interesting because it's what they're attracted to, whatever it is in us, and then all of a sudden they want to cage us, keep us all to themselves, and have this obsession that we
Mm-hmm.
can't be that joyous, vibrant person that they really were attracted to in the first place. They want to contain us. So there's
Right.
this form of obsessiveness. And yeah, I've experienced that. And it's not pleasant. And for years, I think I put up with it till I thought, no, I deserve better than this. This is me. This is my personality. If you can't put up with who I am and my, jovial, uh, energy, which
Mm-hmm.
that's all it is. It doesn't mean I'm flirting with people, it just means, and I talk to everyone, young, old, men, women, children, I'm a people person. And if your partner can't handle that, and particularly with what I do as well, Whole
Yeah.
nother story. But yeah, you're dealing with people. So there's a form of trust, which is the next one that I wanted to talk about. There's a mistrust. When there's
Mm.
jealousy, there's mistrust. You're
Mm.
not trusting yourself, and let alone trusting that other person. Because if you have mistrust, there's something within you. Obviously, it's always reflecting back on you. So yeah, I'm sure you've had your fair share of jealous men, Zanetta.
Oh God, yeah. Who you talking to? Who you texting? Who you my sister?
And what did you do? Like really, how let's share. How you reacted to it and how did you handle it?
Well, because I'm not doing anything to prompt any kind. I don't think that way. I guess it's because it's how I think. Before, when I was in my 20s, early 30s, yes, you know, um, I would peek to see who you talking to. How are you brushing up on this woman, kind of thing, because um, I, which reflected my insecurities.
Mm,
So if I had insecurities, of course, I'm like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? How come you're not paying attention to me? How come I'm not getting that attention? Or how come you're not? Um, so to combat that, I wound up becoming secure within myself. So now I'm displaying that. So when I'm talking to someone or if I'm texting, I'm not doing this.
or keeping your phone upside down so that you can't see.
Right, right. Or yes, when we at the table or turn it upside. I don't do that anymore because I'm very secure in me, and I know I'm not doing anything outside. So so when I'm asked, well, who you talking to? Oh, my sister. Yeah. So what she said is this. Oh, never mind. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm talking to Stefania. Oh, and let me tell you what Stefania said. Oh no, that's okay. So you're I guess me, I don't know, now I'm like that, but back then, yeah, it was because I was insecure. It
Right.
was because I was not sure of myself. Now if I was not sure of myself, then I wasn't trusting myself and I wasn't trusting anyone else. She got it. Yo,
Good. She's using.
welcome to Fun Fresh Fridays. 39 minutes later.
No, you can't hear her. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. No.
Earbuds. Does she have earbuds? Is she using a phone or a laptop? What is she using? A laptop.
Go to your phone.
Use your phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Turn off your laptop, go away, come back on your phone. I
Yes.
bet you it'll work. Sorry. We'll get you on here.
Yeah. Um so that's where my mind goes now. It goes
Mm,
to, okay, so if you're getting jealous, if you have these certain characteristics, it's telling you about you. It's not because, where is the emotion coming from? You're not being forced to feel like that.
mm,
You're feeling like that. So there's something in you that needs to be checked. There's something in you that needs to be tweaked. There's something in you that you need to figure out, okay, why? Why am I, you know, why am I so into this, person's personal space, you know, talking to them all the time so that I can get their attention? Why?
Absolutely. And I think too, you know, when you do have a jealous partner, um, it's very important not to feed their insecurities, because sometimes I know in the past what I was doing was I was justifying. I was trying to, no, it was only just a simple conversation, or, you know, and you may be, this is going for Dick, where I would be looking in a certain direction and there'd be a man walking past, and I
And you
was,
didn't even see the man.
no, I didn't even see the man, and I was accused of looking at another man, and I was like, no, it wasn't that at all. And you're trying to justify, and that's the worst thing you can do. That is
Enable.
the worst. Yeah, because then you then start changing, because then all of a sudden, if you start seeing men around you and you're with your partner, or women, it works
Mm-hmm.
both ways, both genders, and you'd automatically change the way you behave because you knew that your partner is going to react.
Right.
Okay, that is that's a no-no.
Right.
Because you are only enabling them and making and feeding their emotion of jealousy and control, because that's they control, you're allowing them to control you.
Mm.
um, you're allowing them to control you, and that can be detrimental if you're on the receiving end. Who do we have here?
Wow. My sister, maybe it's not always being insecure, but someone has broken the trust first, which led to becoming suspicious and jealous.
Mm,
Mm.
true, true, true. But yeah, but if they've broken trust, you've got to work that area out too first. Asking yourself, well, am I still wanting to be in this relationship? And I can't trust this person, because that is going to kill your relationship sooner or later, or later or sooner.
so so yeah, let's talk about because first you're not insecure, and then the trust is broken, and that's the start of it, wouldn't it be? That opens the floodgate.
It does, and it's hard to get over. Is it Milani?
Mialani.
Milani? You're absolutely right, because it's hard to get over that hurdle of trust again, particularly if there's been some infidelity as well in a relationship. I feel, that can be, if that's not healed, that area has been resolved and healed, really deep healing, the relationship will suffer because it'll resurface from time to time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you have to make that decision. Only you can make that decision whether, hey, can I live with this? Can I really let this go? Can I trust this person? And only time will tell. I mean, everyone deserves a second chance to be trusted again, but only you can know that, depending on what you're experiencing with that person. If that person is still continuing to, you know, kind of look to the sides when a woman walks past, or vice versa, or and is displaying still, behaviors. It's all in the action. You can say one thing, but you've got to follow it through with action to build that trust again, to really build. It has happened. It can happen. I believe it can, but it really needs, a lot of commitment and work. And that person also, um, to be able to trust and heal that mistrust within themselves.
Yeah. So how do you not enabling the partner, how do you uh, give them assurance, that you're not doing these things? Because um, like what my sister said, they might have had a bad relationship, a trust that was broken, and now that carried on to you know this
This
relationship.
relationship. Yeah.
And so what happens? How do the individual now try to get them to that trust level? Because I know when you say, "Oh, I'm not that person, trust me," you know,
Yeah, it
that
works. No, you
doesn't
can't.
work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Hmm.
But from my experience, and I've had situations where I've walked away from the relationship because simply, the trust was broken, and there was still, behavior patterns that he displayed that he couldn't be trusted. So I made that decision. On the receiving end, where you have someone that's jealous because they have had experiences, past relationships, and they've carried that baggage into this relationship, how do you deal with it? Well, today I would say have a conversation around it. Don't justify, don't say, I trust me on this, believe me. No, you sit down as adults and you have a conversation and you share how this form of mistrust and jealousy is affecting the relationship. Okay. Now, I know who I am and I know what I'm about. Um, I can't try and convince you. You have to feel that energy within me. And if there is an issue, let's explore this. I'm going to be beside you. I'm going to support you through this. Maybe get some, professional help to help you move through what it is that you're feeling, these areas of mistrust, and possibly heal what went on in the past, because it's certainly affecting us as a team, as a couple. And when you can be really transparent and honest with that person you really love without fear,
Hmm.
because you know who you are and you know you're not doing anything wrong, and you know that you can be trusted because you trust yourself, you can come and speak from a place of authenticity.
Hmm.
And it's going to, transpire, and that person's going to feel it. And if you're also saying, I'm here with you and I'm going to be supporting you through this, but I can't help you, you may need some help outside of our relationship. I mean, that's pretty profound and deep, but you really need to be supportive in that way, and that you're acknowledging and how it's affecting you as a person, how it's affecting us as a couple.
Yeah. So what is the root cause?
What is the real cause? Did you
The
say
root, the root
the root
cause.
cause
What's the root
of,
cause of jealousy?
of jealousy? Um, well, I think, like anything, it does go back in the past. And like
Nialani.
Mialani, it's a beautiful Mialani suggested or spoke that if you bring coming in from another relationship, it could be that you're still stuck in the past. You're still telling and repeating that story, and you fear that it's going to happen again. I had one client that experienced that in their their first relationship, first long relationship, got out of that, had a good 2 years on their own, entered another relationship, actually married, stayed married for 5 years. And he actually destroyed his marriage because he hadn't healed that past scenario, 10, 15 years ago. And he realizes now that he was the cause of driving his wife away because he was insanely jealous. Insanely. Yeah. So it can be many areas. It can even go back to childhood, this competition between siblings, back at school, this comparison going on. Many, many areas, I think, could be the root cause of it. It's
Mm,
everyone's got a different story.
yeah. So Rhonda, what tell you?
She back?
What say you? Oh my God, we can't hear you. We cannot hear you.
Oh, how sad.
Yes, this is. I don't know what's going on, girl. Okay, hold on. I'm bringing it back down. So I'm loving your see you're talking about no you're not the main host and here you are carrying the whole program. Um so how would you recognize because sometimes we don't recognize it. We don't recognize that we're jealous. We don't
Or we
recognize
don't,
it's jealousy.
yeah, or we don't want to either.
Or we
I
don't
mean,
want to, we turn a blind eye to it. Oh, there you go. Jealousy makes us blind. Okay. Okay. Blind
mm.
judgment. Yes. Okay. Um so how would you recognize it? Because I hear, I'm looking back at my past and this one guy that I used to date, um, he would always tell me, "So you're jealous, aren't you?" And I would look at him like, "No,
uh,
yeah, you are. You're jealous. You're jealous. No,
mm,
really." So, which let me know because the more he asked it, the more I'm like, why is he asking that question? Does he want me to be jealous? Does he
mm.
want me to say something? Like, I don't want you to go out tonight. I don't want you to, go, hang out with the guys tonight. I want you to hang out with me. I really didn't care, Stefania. I really didn't care.
Mm. You see, because
Go.
what I believe is when you don't have that in you, you don't think that's normal.
It's
Face it, you don't entertain it because it's not something you would think. It's like stealing, isn't it? Someone steals from you. Like, why would someone do that? Why? Why would they? Because you wouldn't do it. So you think everyone else wouldn't do it.
that is
It's,
true.
it's because it's not in you. It's not.
So do you think that because I was told that I don't care?
Okay, so let me just backtrack a little bit. Okay. Um,
I need
Because
some help, Stefania. I need some help.
so this is not just men, but we're talking about this male in your life back then. Okay. So we can refer this to both sexes, right? Often when our partners say things like that, uh, what they try to do is they're trying to use reverse psychology. And they're also trying to they'll go to extremes to make you jealous. You know what I mean? They'll do things out of their own character to test you. Does she really love me? Because if she's going to show jealousy, she loves me. He loves me. If he's going to react because I've just spoken to, you know, the guy at the gym, the instructor at the gym, and he's going to react, well, then I know he or she loves me. Can you see? So what they're doing, they're using that act really in a distorted way um, to test, to see whether you're jealous. We'll see whether because they actually relate jealousy as love. Have you ever heard the expression, if there's no jealousy, there's no love?
No,
Have you
I've never heard of that, and I think it sounds ridiculous.
It is. It is.
I'm
It's
just
actually,
being honest.
it is. It is. But there is such a thing. And I know I've translated it from Italian because Italians use this a lot. I know I've heard it.
Oh,
If you're not jealous, there's no love.
huh. Let's try it again, Miss Rhonda. Are we good?
Back.
Oh, now she's frozen. Are you frozen? Let it go. She's frozen. Okay. So, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, because you wouldn't do it.
That is true. Because I wouldn't deliberately do something like that. I
Right. It's
wouldn't
got to be.
deliberately do something to make my partner feel unwanted or feel like, you know, insignificant, insecure, that I'm breaking their trust. That
Mm,
it doesn't compute here to me.
mm,
It Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But some people, that's their only way of. That's because they're insecure, right? They're not really trusting themselves to know whatever they're feeling, that this person, this partner, is really real and loyal to them.
Mm,
You
mm,
know, um, yeah, it's quite interesting. So, how do you deal with that? Again, you say, look, your behavior is just, you know, going too far now. This is really, and you've got to make some choices. You may need to, step away from the relationship for a while because it becomes toxic.
mm-hmm.
It becomes very toxic,
Yes.
whether it's family, jealousy, whether it's, intimate relationships, and let's talk about what type of jealousies, the types of jealousies.
Mm.
Okay. There's many forms of jealousy.
Well, do tell. Take it away.
And there are two main categories: normal and abnormal jealousy.
Oh, there's normal Jill. Okay.
Well, when I say normal, let's face it, we're all going to have a hint of jealousy, whether we
Yes.
know it's jealousy or whether it's comparison.
Yeah.
We can slip into that, right? But there's different types. Um, there's family jealousy.
Hmm. What is that?
This typically occurs when family members, such as siblings, there's this um, comparison or feeling that mum and dad are paying more attention to one, or when a new baby's born, the sibling may feel jealous that there's less attention.
Oh, like how I felt when my sister was born. That's why I didn't
Right.
treat her.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the parent shifts the attention to the new baby, for example.
Mm.
And that may be the start of that emotion
Mm.
that grows and grows and grows, and that insecurity way back. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. And that's why, going through the unraveling, and of course, I'm going to talk about hypnotherapy. We go way back. We peel back the layers and go way back to heal that area, that
Mm-hmm.
childhood, your inner child. So that's one type. Do you want
What's
to hear more?
another? So that's
Okay.
family. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's family jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, we have sexual jealousy
Ooh. Ooh, let's talk about that.
when there's a fear that a partner has been, unfaithful, which we spoke about as well, and engaged in physical infidelity, and you
Okay.
may be suspicious. Or even in a couple, it may be, a romantic jealousy, and this can result from a real, or imagined threat of a romantic relationship. Even between couples, you're dressing up too much. We're just going down to Starbucks, and why are you wearing that?
What? Because I want to look good in Starbucks. No, that's the reason why. I want to represent you well because I'm with you. So therefore,
Yes,
I'm gonna get made up.
exactly. And I've had this happen to me, dressing up, just going, and this used to be a thing also in Italy, where, in Italy, you would not step out in your tracky pants to go to the supermarket. You do
What?
here in, America, Australia, but in Italy, no, you put something nice on, a nice pair of jeans and a nice jacket or whatever. Is she back?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I win! Yes!
Persistence pays off, I tell you.
Yes, it does.
Good.
Yes, it does.
Persistence.
So we're just
It's been
talking
a
about
very interesting conversation. I've been in and out and here and there. Um, jealousy doesn't have anything to do with the other person. It's all a mental, internal belief system
Mm.
about yourself that you compare yourself with yourself and come up short.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
And why I say that is you see something in someone else that you want for yourself or could have had for yourself and don't have it. And then you instead of beating yourself up for it, because that would mean that you'd have to own it, that you didn't do it, you beat the other person up for it. But
Mm.
you have a deficit in yourself. It's a
Wow.
very, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Most,
Absolutely.
and um, it has various degrees. Some of it's mild, like you were talking about, if you don't think a certain way, you don't understand why other people are doing things. Like, where'd you go and who were you with and why? It's not that. It's about themselves. I can't even, I don't even like being with myself. How could she possibly want to be with me? I don't even like myself like that. So I have to keep track of you because I don't like me like that. I don't even like
Mm.
my own company.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
So I got to know where you are because you can't possibly want to genuinely keep company with me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very
So is that the
telling.
type of jealousy that the individual doesn't know they have?
No, they're aware of it. That's why there can be various degrees of hostility with it because they're aware. They know. If you're over 5, you know. It's true. They may say they don't know,
Yeah, I was
but
just going to
that's
say
part of
that.
that. I don't own my
Yeah.
stuff. That's part
Mm.
of it. But they know if
Mm-hmm.
you're over 5, if you're self-aware, you know. If you're over 5, if you're able to go to do these different body things without supervision, yeah. But there are people though who have not uh, taken the time. They're just blindly, aimlessly going through life.
Mm.
There are some who haven't. Like they really, really don't know. There are some, but the ones who tell you they don't know, they do know. It's the ones who don't tell you they don't know that actually don't know. Did that make sense? Because if
Yeah.
you're denying it, then you're
Yeah.
aware. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That makes perfect sense because you acknowledge something that you know,
right.
but if you don't know it, you won't acknowledge
You want to acknowledge it.
it.
There'll be no denials and no
No.
admissions.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-mm.
None.
You
So
just
when
really
somebody
don't know.
when somebody says, I'm rich, really.
Really, right?
You hear millionaires and billionaires say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire.
Mm-mm. They don't talk about it.
No, they don't.
No.
So
Mm-mm.
so in talking about jealousy, it's not about the other person, it's about us. What do we do about it?
Well,
That's the question.
well.
Mm.
Are you willing to see what's there though? Most of the time, our own self-talk is horrible. So we avoid it. We avoid our own selves because we talk to ourselves so horribly bad. So part of dealing with jealousy is that you have to become aware of yourself.
Hmm.
Who are you? What do you have? What do you want? If you don't have it, how do you get it? Right? But if you don't want to do that stuff, our self-talk is terrible. Most of the time. With jealous people, self-talk is terrible.
Okay. So when you say self talk,
Mm,
what?
you know, you do something simple like, sometimes I have been known to drop a coffee cup. I have splatter coffee. I've not been known to do that.
You are
I
in
just
your
say, oops.
elevator and you need to go to coffee, the meeting. Coffee Anonymous
Coffee Anonymous.
user. We cannot
Yeah.
have that on.
Yeah, right. I can't just drop the coffee, right? That's a crime.
Go
But
ahead.
I have been known to drop a cup or splatter up, a little bit of coffee here and there.
Mhm.
And I just say, oops, and go get it up, right? People with horrible self talk. Oh, how could you be so stupid? Look at you. Just so clumsy, you know? People talk to themselves like that. I don't know why anybody would, but they do. I used to. I used to have really, you know, um, believe it or not, I used to be shy. I
I
know,
believe.
right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Painfully shy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Hmm. To the point where I didn't stutter, I just couldn't talk.
Oh.
Like the words would get choked. I'd choke on them. I couldn't get them out.
So
Painfully shy.
would that be self-talk?
Um, no, it was the result of self talk.
Mm.
My voice didn't matter. No one heard me anyway. No one even saw me. I thought I was invisible because no one heard me. So I couldn't tell if I was talking because no one paid attention to what I said. So then I started to choke on the words.
Mm.
It's the mind does a terrible thing to you.
If you would.
But talking about jealousy though, that all goes hand in hand to how that looks for an individual. What are you saying to yourself? If you're saying, I'll never have it, and then you see someone with what you want,
Yeah.
now you either
Or even the opposite. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. So
right,
I can,
right.
so, um,
But is that jealousy or is that just ambition? Because
Right.
sometimes you don't get things because you've never seen it. So not I don't know about that one. Well, it's true. There are some people who've never seen things. Don't be looking like that. Everyone is not exposed to things in the world. I'm just saying. There's sometimes.
so there's a difference between ambition and reality. You know, I mean, me, I know I can get a Tesla. I know that, but
Right.
in reality, because I look at the cost it's going to entail for maintenance to get a new battery if it ever does. It costs. It's like buying, um, it's like buying a BMW, and you're showing it off, and but you didn't know that the inspection one is triple the car note, and then inspection two is your mortgage.
Right.
One tire, you know. So so is that to show off, or is it really ambition? I mean, ambition is, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Safanya? I think there's a bit of jealousy in that, so that you can uh, flaunt it and talk about it, and look at what I have.
Let me ask you, Zanetta.
Ooh,
Hmm.
Hmm. She's
dangerous,
learned well.
dangerous,
Look at that. She's going to take a statement and turn it into a
dangerous
question.
ground. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, I have to kind of slightly agree with Rhonda because she said you're looking at something that you want, and that is ambition. That's something that you aspire to and want to get, right? And you say it, the way you're saying it is just, with joy and admiration and goal driven. So to me, that doesn't come across jealous.
Okay.
All right. That's what I see, a bit what Rhonda is saying. If you were to say it in a way, and, like Patricia, she's got this uh, Tesla, and, like How the hell she get that Tesla?
Yeah,
I want
Patricia, I want to know how the hell you got it.
get that Tesla.
I want to know
Especially
now.
because you want it, right?
How did you get that Tesla?
And the bitch, how did she do it? You know?
Right. Right.
That's
That's
a whole different.
jealousy. That's
That's a
jealousy.
whole different. That's
Right.
different
Because you don't
emotion.
just slightly want the Tesla. There's a whole life attached to the Tesla that you want, and someone else has it. Well, how in the did you get it and I don't have it? That's
Exactly.
jealousy.
Mhm.
See, I don't do that though.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. It's you can't because it's not normal. It's not what. It's not normal. It's not in your character. It's not
Yeah.
part of you. It's something you don't entertain because you look at helping people. You admire people. You would say, "Oh wow, she's got a
Except for
Tesla."
Patricia that has a
The
Tesla.
Tesla.
I'm playing. No. Yeah, I mean, because to me, it's not ambition. To me, I don't. Because I think ambition. I don't know. That's another topic, probably. What is ambition? What is behind? What is the emotion behind ambition? I maybe aspire. I think that would be a better word to use for me. I aspire to get a Tesla. I'm
Hmm.
aspiring to get a Tesla in the next year or two.
Hmm.
But
But
I'm not gonna.
you're
Mhm.
goal
Yeah, it's
driven.
a
It's the
goal.
goal.
Yeah,
You're goal driven. You fuel that with your visualization, your manifestation. You're aspiring to it. You'll stop off at the Tesla dealers, sit in the car, smell the leather.
yeah. So
Who's that?
past experience can also be a reason for jealousy because in the past they experience insecurities and lose their self-confidence because that unhealthy relationship. That's my niece Lael. Thank you for watching. They're all in the Philippines. It is 9 a.m. over there on a Saturday. So I think I think the what starts the jealousy. I like what you said, Stefania. When it goes back to the family, I think that's the root. I think that's where it starts. It's not because of um, you know uh, when you have your first crush or your first relationship and then they're unfaithful or whatever the thing is, but it happened way before then. Don't you think? Don't y'all agree? Because of sibling rivalry, one parent favors the other. I can see it in our family. I can see the favoritism, um, and I can see, even with the siblings, I can see favoritism. You know,
Mm,
it might not be favorite, but that's what I see, and that's what I feel. Um, because there's 9 of us. So, in the dynamics when we're all together, I can see it, I can feel it, and you can tell the hierarchy, you know. Um, so that dynamic, that family, I think that's where it does start
mm,
without even knowing it.
mm. And nine siblings isn't exactly a small family, right? So imagine you trying to get, nine children trying to get attention from two people, a husband, mum and dad. That's a lot of energy and attention they've got to give out evenly, which is challenging also for parents to do.
Yeah, and then to top it off, 7 boys, then me,
And your
and then
sister.
my sister. Yeah. So for 7 years, I was the queen.
So you're trying to say
Wow.
there was a little jealousy there? Was there a little
Oh,
jealousy?
I know there was,
There
because she
was.
can tell you the stories. I tortured her. and I admit it. But we're now
Yeah.
best friends. We're great friends. I love my sister, dearly. Um, but back then, yeah, I tortured her. I did torture my
Mm.
sister.
And isn't that growth, Zanetta? That's powerful stuff that you transitioned from that. That's a lot of growth.
Mm.
That's great. Some people never transition.
Mm,
Some people remain stagnant.
I love you too. Yeah, she can tell you stories. I'm like, did I do that? Yeah, but um, and back then, I never thought it was jealousy. I just knew that I had to get back at her because she took my crown. I was the
Mm.
attention, with all the boys, and then here comes a new girl. All the attention is now to my sister, and here I am, 7 years old, left alone. We don't want to play with you anymore, kind of thing. So yeah,
That's
I didn't know it was any
that's an
kind of jealousy. I
interesting
just
thought.
knew it was. I knew I was taken out of the picture. Go ahead, Rhonda. Oh,
Hmm.
you froze.
I was just saying that's an interesting thought. 'Cause I'm a middle child, and I had kid syndrome till I
Syndrome.
was about 10.
Mm.
Wasn't the oldest, wasn't the youngest, and my sister and I are 18 months apart.
Oh
So,
wow.
and she's the baby. So, I felt ignored. That's what where all of that. My voice wasn't heard, and I felt like I wasn't being heard. I could talk, but I didn't feel like anyone was listening because they didn't even respond sometimes to what I was saying. So I'm like, well, is my voice working? I used to talk to the dog to see if my voice actually was heard because the dog's ears would perk
Woo,
up. I
woo,
mean, it's so bad.
woo, woo. Bow wow.
I said, okay, so I'm talking because the dog is responding. So I'm talking. But man, I just was ignored. The two of them, got attention and I didn't get attention. So I spent most of my time with the dog. Like,
Mm.
really, I spent most of my time with the dog or reading because I felt
So is
completely
is that the
ignored.
beginning? Is that the beginning, Stefania? Is that the beginning of our journey into this, like what you said in the beginning, into the the vibration going lower and lower and spiraling down? Because when I'm looking at a teenager, looking back as a teenager, man, I was now that I'm seeing through these lens, through this adult eyes lens, through this, lens of, um, I don't think like that anymore. But if I look at myself, my 16-year-old, oh God, I was that, yeah. I can see how it progressed
Right.
without knowing, without knowing. So,
Yeah.
how do we, now that we pinpointed where it starts, it originates. It originates when you're a baby,
Mhm.
when you're a child. So how do we get out of it? I mean, how do we realize those things? How do we? What are the things that we can do? What are the tips, the tools, the trades of coming out of and realizing that jealousy can turn into a very toxic character and translate it into a toxic relationship.
Mm.
Mm, yeah.
Well, sometimes to transition like that can be a bit challenging for some of us. Okay. So maybe we can use the word coping. How do we cope with our own jealousy? You know,
Mm,
if we take responsibility and know that it's starting to affect our relationships with our loved ones, self relationship, because surely it doesn't make you feel good. If you've got a good bout of jealousy going on, that certainly does not, you know, set you feeling free and full of joy and contentment, right? You're sitting at a lower vibration. So, there's a few ways of coping with it, and one of it is, once you acknowledge and take responsibility and know there's something wrong, sit with yourself and confront your fears, because jealousy, it does stem from insecurity or poor self-image. We've already discussed that, right? That we are feeling and thinking less of ourselves and comparing to other people.
mm,
And
Hmm.
fear of failure, fear of not achieving your goals. And once you recognize these fears, you can acknowledge and address them, you know, as they are often the underlying cause of our jealousy.
mm.
We can start reading some books on it. We don't have to rush off and get coaching or, professional help, because sometimes even stepping out into that can be a little bit daunting. But let's confront them. Let's sit with them as they will surface up. And then, rather than just pushing them down, ignoring them, not acknowledging them, not taking responsibility, as Rhonda said, they will fester up again.
Mhm.
Address your expectations. What are your expectations also? Of whether it be in your relationships,
Yeah.
of yourself.
And I like what you said in the other the previous episodes that we've had. Ask yourself why.
Mm, yeah, why?
Ask
Why is
yourself.
this affecting me? Yeah. Why am I feeling like this? Why is this triggering me?
Yes.
Why is this triggering me? But a quick exercise that we can all do and really just try and change our state very quickly is focus on gratitude. When you're feeling bouts of jealousy, let's focus on, what am I grateful for right here, right now? And once you quickly pivot and transition and change your state, you watch something magical happens within you, because all of a sudden you're being grateful for what is, what I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And that can help you, you know, cut that story off. Again, you're pivoting very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Great.
these are coping mechanisms, coping strategies that we can take part in. And often I find myself doing that when I'm struggling with something, and particularly if it's like resistance to something. Usually there's a resistance. So, okay, what am I grateful for now? I'm so grateful I have this laptop and I have internet and I can connect with everyone around the world. Just I'm always so grateful for my internet connection and my laptop, my phone, because that's what keeps me connected at the moment. Especially because we're in lockdown, we can't move. So to me, I'm so grateful for that. So yeah, there are a few. I don't know if you guys want to add a few more to that. Please do.
What?
So,
She's frozen. Oh no. And she frozen. No, Roger.
A little bit. They're all a little delayed.
Oh, it's just you.
Oh,
Me. I would. I like what you said, Stefania. Just shift it to the gratitude. Um, you know, that would immediately change your perception, change your mind, and not look at the lack, but look at what is in abundance with you. Um, to me, I think a good way to also look at it is, what is it really telling me? What is it that um, it is, just to dig a little deeper, is it, let's say it's a woman that, I'm jealous about. What is it about that person that I'm really wanting? Is it how she looks, how she does her makeup? I'm always jealous of the women that can put makeup on. I am always, oh, I mean, they're flawless. And then they put it on like, I don't know how to do that. I still have black circles. I don't know how to get rid of that. Um, but it's because I can't do it, and I recognize that. So I just stick with what I know. Like right now, I have no makeup on, nothing.
But you have natural beauty.
Oh, thank you.
Like, listen. There are some women that wear a lot of makeup and they wear it well, and they really are artistic with the way they wear it.
I
Okay,
know.
I give them
Jealous.
full credit.
Just
But
how they
what
do
do
it.
they look like? What do they look like without that makeup? What do they look like without those long lashes?
I had a bad case of jealousy for a long time. Through time, I've learned to recognize the feeling and acknowledge what it is. I realized it caused me pain, and the other person felt nothing. Oh, now that
That's true.
I need to take care
Now
of
that's the
me.
truth.
Yeah, yeah. So I I look to see what it is that I'm, like the makeup. I'm jealous, but it has no value for me. It carries no weight. It's just like, oh, I wish I can do that. Oh, I wish I can, knit. kind of, that kind of jealousy. I wish I can do that. Nothing, no malice, no weight, no value. But when I do have that, because I know what it feels like. I know what real jealousy feels like, and I want to be able to, recognize it and say, what is it about what he did, or how he did that made me jealous. What is it about me? So I bring the focus to me, because and then I'll start doing an inventory. Okay, what is it, Zanetta? Let's go. Let's look at your Rolodex of, you know um, of different things, experiences that you might not have been healed, or you're still not trusting, or is it still, those kind of things, or is it time for me to do another Stefania session? Speaking of which, we're going to talk after this. Um, is
Yes, I'm waiting.
is it that time again? Because I'm, or it, just a question. Just start questioning. Just start asking yourself. Um, and then I like the gratitude. It removes that feeling right away. It focuses on um, the abundance, what you have, and not the lack. So
Correct.
I really like that. But me, I just ask myself, what's going on here? What's going on with you?
Mm.
Kind of thing. It's a self inventory. I like what my sister said. It caused me pain, and the other person felt nothing.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
important.
it's a bit like Nelson Mandela. Doesn't he have a quote? Anger and jealousy is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah.
It's not happening because you're the one, drinking poison. And I guess jealousy is a form of poison,
It
really.
is. It is. But it's a, it, so there's a whole bunch of, we can go into, different things that we take as medicine. I mean, they are poison, but if it's taken in the right dosage, come on, nurse, talk to me. But if it's taken in the right dosage, your body is going to recover, because there's toxic in your body, or something that is not supposed to be in there, and then you're going to take something that is stronger, that is going to get rid of it. So there's a portion of toxicity or poison that we're taking. um, so Rhonda, what are some of your tips?
What are some of my, say it again,
Tips.
tips?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I noticed something. So I didn't say what I do when I'm feeling,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know, feeling a little twinge of something. I'll say. I noticed all three of ours is different. So for Stefania, it is gratitude, and
Mm-hmm.
for you, it's a self inventory. But for me, uh, I tend to look for validation. So
Mm.
because that's a tendency outside of myself, and that triggers a jealousy. So when I'm feeling that, that means I'm looking for someone else to give me what is really only for me to give myself.
Mm.
So I validate myself. And it's taken a long time to get to that because, like I said, I had the middle child syndrome. So it took a while to get there, but I validate myself. And when I'm feeling jealousy or whatever, that's a cue for me that I'm looking for someone outside of myself to give me something. They
Oh.
really are not. That's not really where it comes from.
Mm.
You give it
Mm-hmm.
to yourself.
Yeah.
So if it's acceptance, if it's growth, if it's whatever it is, you give it to yourself. If you're waiting for somebody else to do it and do it with
Mm-hmm.
grace, you'll be
Mm-hmm.
waiting a while. It's just
Yeah.
not. That's just not. There's always a string attached to it. But if you
Mm.
give it to yourself, and then learn to give yourself some space to grow in certain areas, you won't look for somebody else to give it to you.
Right.
Which,
Right.
um, yeah. So, but I did notice it is something different for each one of us, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Tag on to your medication analogy, each one got a different dose
Mm-hmm.
of whatever you want to call the medicine. It's a different medicine and it's at a different dose. So there's no cookie cutter way to deal with jealousy because
Mm-hmm.
each one of our motivations to be jealous is different. If
Right.
you're going to be jealous, it's different. It's coming from a different place. Even what provoked it as a child is different. It might not be that you got ignored. I got ignored. That was mine. But maybe um, you didn't get
I was
ignored. You
Humpty
got
Dumpty.
everything you wanted. Hmm?
I was Humpty
What's that?
Dumpty. I
Humpty
said I was
Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty.
Oh,
Who sat on the
oh,
wall and then got kicked off. No.
and got kicked off the wall. Yeah, my sister got everything, and she got everything, but she didn't get what she needed. So now she's an adult, and she didn't get what she needed as a child. But she got the
Mm.
attention. So I thought I wanted the attention until I saw the outcome of all that attention. It actually came out better being ignored.
Mm.
Just saying.
Wow. Well, Stefania, what a good
Yeah,
topic.
it has been a great topic. It's been great. And I hope our audience has taken something away. And we've certainly um, taken something from them as well with their comments. It's
Yeah.
been great. All the interaction and the engagement we've had from these lovely people. So I think jealousy is something that we all experience. And we can't say, oh, I'm not jealous. No, I think, we have to sit with that and take our responsibility for our amount of jealousy. We have it all in different amounts. And if it is affecting our relationships, be mindful of it, take responsibility, look at your expectations, and really, take responsibility, taking action to overcome it. And if you are in a relationship where you're living with a toxic partner, as I said earlier, I think it's important to have that conversation and be supportive. Don't try and justify who you are and how there's no need to be jealous. Trust me. It's the worst thing to say, right?
Right.
Trust me. No, let's sit down and let's talk about this, because this is how I feel. Being open, authentic, coming from a place of love, holding space for that person, because it's important to hold space for that person to also share what they're feeling. And when you hold that space and you allow them to be vulnerable, you allow yourself to be vulnerable, that person can get ugly, can get messy, can get dark. At least all that's coming out, and where that person stands, and you can certainly say, look, well, I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to support you through this. Let's do this together. Let's get some help. I can't help you, but you can certainly get some help outside of our relationship. Because when don't be caught into that cycle of being the fix-it as a partner, because that doesn't work. It usually doesn't work, because you're trying to have a relationship and you're trying to be a therapist or a counselor, and it's best to seek it and get it outside the relationship, so you can still continue keep working on your relationship and that person or yourself, because you may need help also in coping with it, to how to handle that dynamics, whatever is happening in the relationship around jealousy, around mistrust, around all the things that come together with it as a package.
Yeah.
So that's my little bit of advice and to share with people, the audience out there. Zanetta?
Oh no, take it. Take it. It's your show. You did a wonderful, fabulous job, by the way,
Oh, thank you.
of carrying this conversation, and it's a great topic. It really is a great topic, and it's a topic that um, needs to be put in the forefront. That we need to have these conversations. And thank you for picking this topic. I was like, oh,
Thank you for engaging. And Rhonda, is there anything else that you want to say before we kind of wrap it up? Thanks for coming on. We would have liked you to be on board a little earlier, but it's okay. Technology. Now you know for next time.
Right now, I know next time exactly how I need to do this to make to get this to work. I think that the thread through the whole thing is we have to be aware. We can't just go through our own lives asleep. You got to be aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what do you want, and why do you want it? Do you want it because that's your own desire? Or do you want it because not it's not even about what the other person has. It's your perception of their life that they have. Because if you look at jealousy, it's not about what people have. It's a perception of their life that you want for yourself that you don't have.
mm-hmm.
So if we really took the time to do, we won't have what they have, but we'll have our own and be fulfilled with our own. Um, but very few actually, take a look at it, because it's not the best look, right? Being jealous is not a good look.
What do they say?
How it comes out. I mean, you can have it as something you're thinking, but but the actual, I'm going to call it expression of it, it's not good, right? Because it can be so bitterly hostile. It can't, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Janetta.
I'll be at the beginning on the next one. Yeah.
So, so if
So,
I
as I
can
figured
end on
out,
this, so if I can end on this note about jealousy, okay, which brings it back to redefine me, Zanetta. Thank you. It is about redefining you. Look at this jealousy as redefining yourself. Use it as a fuel to redefine who you are. It's my little bit to finish it off.
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
Um, so thank you so much, Stefania. I really, really enjoy, your lead and your genius and, the your what's inside of you. You were saying she was saying no in the beginning. She was saying no, what's your no? No. Thank you, ladies. I learned a lot. Thank you. Love you, Lonnie.
Lani.
And so I said, no, there has to be something inside of you, that genius, that gift that, that needs to come out, because you're the one who wanted to talk about this. And I recognize that. Yeah, I might be the lead of the show, but no, I don't own it. I don't own we have our own geniuses, and that's what I would love to have this as,
But I just want to add to that. Thank you, because as you said, we all have our genius, but I think there's a space here we hold for each other, which encourages us to let it out. So that's, I think, what, for me, I want to say thank you to you ladies as well,
oh, you're
holding
welcome.
space for each other.
Yes, yes. So tomorrow I will be on a guest. I'll be a guest on Welcome to Life with Patricia at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so 10, I think it's 10 a.m.
10,
Central. Yes.
10 a.m. Central.
So if you want to come and join us, it's going to be live on Facebook. So let me know, and I'll chime you in. Well, not in the show, but I'll let you know where I'm going.
Right, and then I'll just watch Facebook Live. Yeah, yeah.
um, so we are going to close it out, and I'm going to turn it on over to Stefania. And again, I want to thank you for last week. You are a lifesaver. It was a
Oh,
great
thank
show.
you.
Really enjoyed it. And so that's all I had. I just wanted to invite everyone for this show on tomorrow. I will be on there, and on next week also for our Fun Fresh Friday. Stefania, you're right.
Yes, we invite you back for Fun Fresh Fridays for next week with Zanetta and I, and Rhonda, maybe if she'd like to pop on. Anyone else that would like to join us, please do. I know you chat and put lots of comments in there, but we'd like to invite you to come along and converse with us, because it's fun. There's no right or wrong. We're just sharing and lifting each other up. So as far as next week's topic, Zanetta, I'm leaving that to you. It's
Ooh.
your turn. Yeah. So over to you, and thank you, everybody. See you next week. Will it be a surprise, or will it be a surprise, or do you have the topic already, Zanetta?
Do I have to give it now?
So
Oh man.
No, it will be a surprise.
It'll be a
It will
surprise.
be a surprise. So,
That's right. Everyone, stay tuned.
yes, stay tuned. Until next time, thank you for tuning in for Fun Fresh Fridays. And
Yeah.
again, thank you for all the those viewers and those that make comments. You always make our show very wholesome and a platform, like what Stefania said, that we are here to share our geniuses. And until next time, for those that are going to watch on the replay, thank you so much. And
Okay.
again, the nails,
Oh, yes, the
let
nails.
me know. And I'll send you on over to my daughter, Julia. Until then, thank you for holding and staying with us for an
Bye.
hour and 45 minutes.
Woohoo.
Bye.
Bye.